But back to the whole environment thing, two of the most important things, well, actually four of the most important things for reflectors, where they work, who they work with, where they live, and who they live with. And that's because energy is so important and such a significant thing for reflectors. We are guided by the lunar cycle, which means we're going to experience all 64 gates in 28 days instead of across a span of like a year, like the solar beings get. So we're going through this roller coaster of different gates, and we need to be in places that are going to feel supportive and safe, and not things that are going to make us feel uncomfortable on top of the strange way that we're going to have to navigate the gates. And it's the same with people, because places give off energy, people give off energy, even animals give off energy, everything does. So I can totally relate to that reflector who said, I'm not going to stay, because that's my go-to thing. When I commit to going to an event, I say, I can't guarantee how long I'm going to stay, but I'll show up. Right? Because I want to always give myself that out. If I am not feeling like it's a good space to be in, it's gonna make me feel sick. I'm gonna be, miserable, and that's not helpful for anybody else there. So I don't want to keep myself in a place or around people that is going to have that kind of negative effect.
Yeah, and for those who have not who don't understand, why do the gates of the moon affect the reflector in this strong way? When you have so much openness, and the moon goes through all 64 gates, like you said, in like 28 to 29 days, depending, somewhere in between. What happens is every time the moon gate shifts, there's a great likelihood that it will define a new center for the reflector. Now, sure, it can happen for all of us, but because we already have definition in our chart, we have this sense of knowing ourselves as a specific, our definition is where we know ourselves to be consistent. And so we tend to identify ourselves as that way, even if we don't logically understand it, that we feel this way is who we are. But the reflector is completely open, so they're constantly just amplifying other people's energy. And when wherever that gate of the moon is, there's going to be a strong likelihood that that's going to define a center for you, that's going to give you this new feeling. And it's very easy for in that moment to make a decision based on defined energy that is only fleeting, and it's going to be gone. So that's the whole idea of waiting the lunar cycle, if I've explained that correctly.
Yeah, great explanation. We can experience 2 to 3 different gates every single day. So you can imagine, like you showed my chart, right? Those different gates would be lighting up 2 to 3 times a day with these different channels. Sometimes it makes a channel, sometimes not. Sometimes it defines a center, sometimes not. And that's a different experience for reflectors multiple times a day. So yeah, we're going to get this energy, and maybe it's an energy of excitement or an energy of action, like physical doing. I've been outside doing yard work, and I feel like I can go, and then come like 2 p.m. or whatever the time is, it's like a switch gets flipped and I'm done. And I cannot force myself to go beyond that, because I know that energy just isn't there anymore. And the more you kind of play around with it and experience it and just be open and non-judgmental to these changes, the easier it gets to know that it's just going to be an experience. It is what it is. I don't need to draw any conclusions about it. I don't need to make it mean anything about me, and neither does anyone else. Like, it's just something that is coming and going. So sometimes, have fun with it. I like to play around. Sometimes I'm very creative, and I get a lot of inspiration. And one thing I've learned is that when that inspiration hits, no matter what time of day, it's like I drop everything and cater to that inspiration, because I've tried to schedule my inspiration, and it does not work at all. Like what a waste of time.